Hey, I'm Professor Paul Lyman. I'm a professor here at UWM in the physics department. Worked here for 17 years, I believe. I do research in condensed matter physics, a branch of condensed matter physics called surface physics, trying to learn about the outermost few atomic layers of material. In addition to research, I do teaching, of course. I teach primarily undergraduate courses in quantum mechanics, modern physics, electronics. Last Friday, after the miraculous finish of the game, I watched Thursday night. The Channel 12 News contacted our PR department, and they wanted a physicist, evidently, to analyze Aaron Rodgers' amazing throw. So, PR department somehow decided I was the person that would be good to do this and put a good face on for the university. And so they sought me out, tracked me down in my electronics class, and asked me if I would be willing to analyze Aaron Rodgers' throw, which I said, sure, I could do that. So the method I use to analyze it is it's fairly simple, well-known physics. It's called Newtonian mechanics, after Sir Isaac Newton, who in the 17th century realized there's a fairly simple way to describe how things move. This is a fairly basic level of physics. It's the analysis I did, frankly, could be done by a high school student. In fact, bumped into a friend of mine the next day who's a high school teacher and told me that his students wanted to do the analysis. And so they did, and they came up with the same answers I did, gratifyingly. Well, let me tell you what I found, what the results were. So we needed two pieces of information. We needed to know how long the ball was in the air. As I said, it was 4.2 seconds. We also needed to know how far it traveled laterally over the ground. That was 70 yards. From those two pieces of information, I can tell you a few things using the equations of projectile motion. So I can tell you how fast he threw the ball, how hard he had to throw it initially. I can also tell you how high it went at its highest point, and we can also tell you what angle he threw it above the ground. The results were that he threw it 57 miles an hour. To be honest with you, I didn't know if that was reasonable or not, and so I Googled how fast can you throw a football, and it turns out elite NFL quarterbacks throw the ball between 55 and 59 miles an hour. So that seems to fit right in. The other thing we figured out is how high it went, and I could figure out that the ball went about 71 feet in the air, which is, basically the height of a 7-story building, which, is a pretty good throw. The angle that he threw it was 54 degrees above the horizontal. Now, frankly, I was a little surprised at that because it's a higher or steeper angle than you would expect. That is, if he threw it at a lower angle, the ball would have gone farther. I was a little alarmed at my calculation that he threw it so high until I saw an interview by Aaron Rodgers later. He said, yeah, he threw the ball real high, I think he said a rainbow arc or something like that. He said it's easier to catch that's how they practice it. They throw it high, and that's easier to catch it when it's thrown high. So I was gratified that my calculation was consistent with his interview. 15.2 meters per second squared plus 20.6 meters per second. Both of those squared